Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world. If you're watching or listening, I hope that you are taking care of yourself. I recognize that right now we live in a very tumultuous time. COVID is everywhere. Please be safe. Please wear a mask. Please take care of yourself. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready to go back to reality. I'm ready to have my life back. I'm ready to get on stages and speak and travel and go and impact the world and host Think Unbroken conferences in person. But until we get this thing controlled, that's not going to happen. I recognize that so many of us are impacted by COVID right now. And so I just want to send this to you and let you know you're not alone, my friends. We're here for you. We're here for each other. Ultimately, I believe that we're going to get through this okay. But all we can do is what we have to do to be safe. So I hope that you're doing that, taking the time, taking the precautions, and doing that. I wanted to hop into another one of my client questions to share with you. This came to me from an email. When I think about what it means to put yourself on a path of healing, one of the things that you have to think about is whether or not you have rules and discipline in your life. And the impact of rules and discipline in your life can be such that everything changes. It's really fascinating to me how often people come to me and I work with them and I say, "What are your rules for life?" And they have no idea. And I think that you have to put rules and parameters in your life around what is and is not acceptable, and also how you treat yourself, right? From the way you talk to yourself to the way that you live your life to the way that you act to how others treat you. Self-talk, you have rules for when you wake up, how you go to bed, when you work out, when you go to work. Like, you have to create rules and meanings and parameters around everything in your life. A big part of healing trauma as you step into what's next in your life is reparenting. And reparenting is effectively doing the things for yourself that should have been done and taught to you as a child. And now, since those things did not happen, you have to take them on yourself. And I recognize that's really difficult, especially in the beginning of this journey, because you have no idea how to take care of yourself. That was my experience. I didn't know about nutrition. I didn't know about sleep. I didn't know about physical movement. I mean, let's keep it real. There wasn't that long a time ago that I was 150 pounds overweight, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and eating chocolate cake for dinner. All right, it was like 10 years ago, but still, like, that's a long time. And I think about that at that point in my life being a pivotal turning point, and not having rules, not having discipline, not having any collective idea about the person that I wanted to be. And so this question came to me, and I thought to myself, I know how to step into this because I understand it from a firsthand perspective. As I get in the question, I want to first say thank you, of course, for listening and hanging out with me. Please do me a favor and like, subscribe, comment, share, review. As we grow here, we do it together, and I appreciate every one of you who is making the effort. So I'm going to read the question here. It's a little long, so bear with me. What do you do to become more aware of those moments, those moment-to-moment decision points? I keep noticing that I could have chosen the better path, but then it's too late. Like, I set an intention in the morning, remind myself what to do to help my future self and why I want to choose the better option, because that's in line with my values and pushes me towards who I want to be. Brilliant. First and foremost, that is absolutely brilliant. You are so on the path right there. But the next thing I know, the day is over and I stayed on autopilot all day. I set a reminder on my phone to revisit this intention that I have, but now even that reminder is just in the background and doesn't even register on most days. That is a question that I think so many people relate to, because if you are in this healing journey and if you are in a place in your life where you've really started to step forward, you have rules, and you step forward and you have values and you have intention and you have changed your mindset and you're doing the work and you're on the path, the thing that you have to have, especially in this context, is rules, right? Because it's not enough only to have intention or mindset. You have to be able to hold yourself accountable to that. So part of it is rules, and the other part is discipline, right? These two things go hand in hand. And if you're familiar with our pal Jocko Willink, he wrote a book called Discipline is Freedom. And I believe in that to the core of my being, because if I look back on my life, the most important keys to my personal growth were in discipline. Were enforcing myself to stay within the parameters of the rules that I set. So you can kind of see how they go hand in hand. One of the things with rules means if you are saying with intention that you are going to do something, then you have to do it, right? One of the rules in my life is very simple and it's poignant, and it really was a game changer for me. I said that under no circumstances am I allowed to be mean to myself. That doesn't mean that I can't be self-critical. That doesn't mean that I can't be assessing the things that I'm doing well and the things that I can be doing better. That doesn't mean that I don't have to push myself a little bit, but it does mean that I'm not allowed to call myself an asshole or stupid or dumb or any of the things that I used to. Because think about this, my friend. If we are the story that we tell ourselves, then it's going to hold true that if that is in our head, that is going to be our belief. And so to put ourselves in this scenario or even predicament, which I think is a better word, of constantly putting ourselves down, well, then guess what? We're not going to have self-esteem. We're not going to have value. We're not going to want to step into what's next in life. Right? When it comes to rules around intentions being set, you have to clarify the why. And I've talked about this before, but as you are in this moment of making a declaration of this is the way that I want to live my life, you have to put meaning behind that and you have to understand the purpose, right? It is so much easier to step into what is next in our life if we make a conscientious effort to define meaning. Think about this. If you go to a job and your boss says, good luck, whatever, figure it out, you're going to have a hard time if you have no idea at even a baseline what the job description is, right? If you come in and there are parameters set, you have expectation, right? Now think about this. With that expectation, you know what to move towards. Without that expectation, you're kind of floundering. But in that expectation is meaning. Right? You understand the reason why you're showing up to do this. You're going, okay, I'm going to go into this job. I'm going to do this thing because with the meaning, I get to create a better life financially, right? Or pay off debt or be able to take my partner to dinner or to, buy a new CD. I can't believe I just said CD. No one buys CDs. If you do buy CDs, I appreciate you, but like, whatever, you get my point. So here's what I want you to think about. As you are creating this framework and this pathway around intention and meaning and the things that you do, you need to apply it into a way in your life that is palatable, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense for you to suddenly want to start scaling Mount Everest if you never even bought hiking boots. So you have to think about baby steps in this, right? When I think about intention, here's how it began for me, creating rules and meaning, and specifically around negative self-talk. Now, this applies across the board. This is almost a universal principle because what happens is you take this same information and you apply it to the different areas of your life. So first and foremost, my thought was, okay, if I know that the way that I talk to myself being demeaning means that I am not stepping into building self-esteem or growing or healing, then I have to put a parameter that says that every time I'm negative to myself, I have to say something positive to myself. And what that means is in these moments where I go, oh, I'm stupid, I'm done, I'm unworthy, I immediately flip to the reverse. I go, I am powerful, I am capable, I am handsome, I am lovable, I am intelligent, whatever that thing is, I would step into it. And it was an immediate trigger response because what happens is I don't want to, within the parameters of the rules that I set, give myself permission to continue to do that. And so where I become critical is I say, okay, why is this happening right now? Why did I just do the thing I said that I was not going to do? And then how do I continue to move forward through that? Not beating myself up, but acknowledging simply that I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do and identifying the reason why I didn't. So the rule is I'm not going to be mean to myself, right? That is the rule. I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be crass. I'm not going to be negatively judgmental in a way that is demeaning. But the discipline part of this is that I am always going to say something nice about myself every single time I say something mean about myself. Every single time that I am demeaning or disparaging to myself and my character and who I am, the discipline is that I am absolutely 100% without a shadow of the doubt going to say something kind to myself, because the meaning in this is, okay, I understand that if I want to grow and heal and change, then I have to be kind to myself so that I can reestablish not only values, but for the first time, self-esteem. And so as I find myself in my mid-20s in this really awful place negatively, especially around my mindset, my mental health, the way I perceive myself in the world, and my actions, that was the baseline. That was the biggest catalyst in everything. And then I applied that to other areas of my life. I applied that to the gym. I applied that to my diet. I applied that to relationships. I applied that to business. I applied that to sleep. And like, again, look, like, I'm a human being. This will ebb and flow. There will always be changes. There will always be something. One of the things that's really important to know about rules, and as you change and grow and adapt, is that you are going to hit these plateaus. And every time you hit this plateau, that's not the finish line, but instead you need to shift and continue to move forward. And as you shift, you are going to reevaluate your rules. And with that reevaluation of rules, you are going to reevaluate discipline, right? So in the moment, when that intention alarm beeps on your phone, you are going to force yourself through discipline to acknowledge it. And if that intention when that phone beeps is, I need to get up and move for 3 minutes and then take a water break and come back, then that is what you do. No questions asked. No excuses, just results. Because I'm going to tell you, if you cannot be disciplined in the smallest area of your life, like acknowledging a notification on your phone, you are not going to be disciplined in the other areas of your life, whether that be about your diet, your relationship, your self-talk, your career, your hobbies, all of those things, they all interact with each other. So to recap, the thing that you're going to do when you want to create a change in your life, you're going to add an intention and meaning to the why behind the reason why you want to do this. You need to have meaning, you need to have intention. Then you are going to set a strict rule around this intention, meaning that in these moments, you are not going to, or you are going to do a thing. And then the discipline asset of this comes in because you are going to hold yourself accountable and do this thing that you say that you are going to do every single time that you say you are going to do it. And if you don't do it, you force yourself to do it anyway. Now, there's area to build personal consequences. There's area to create change in habits through this. But the biggest thing that you have to do is in that moment where you're considering not doing it or pushing it off or making an excuse, is you have to ask yourself the question, what am I willing to do to have the life that I want? Because realistically, in this frame of reparenting that you are in by setting these rules and discipline, you are doing that thing that was not done for you when you were a child. And it's really easy to negate your own needs in the moment because we are under this immense amount of pressure, right? And it's easy to feel the stress, and it's easy to put ourselves in a situation where we go tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. But my friend, the most important thing that I want you to take away with this is there's no guarantee for tomorrow. You could die right now. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live a life where on my deathbed, I'm wondering if I did everything I could to have the life that I wanted to have. So I challenge you, create rules, create discipline, step into what's next. So if you have questions, please email me directly. This is my email, michael@thinkunbroken.com. Or you can hit me up on social on all the channels at Michael Unbroken. I've got some free courses and seminars and classes. I'm going to put the link in the description for you to check it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please like, subscribe, share, review, tell someone about this. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. I'll see you.